Semper Fi, everyone. I'm your host, United States Marine Corps veteran and living historian, Recon Jack. On today's episode, I will discuss the U.S. Marine Corps School of Infantry, better known as SOI, which is the second stage of initial military training for enlisted Marines following boot camp. Following a mandatory 10-day liberty after graduating recruit training, and sometimes a command recruiting program to support local hometown recruiting efforts, Marines continue their pipeline of training with SOI. Since the initial training pipeline is divided between coasts, Marines from areas east of the Mississippi River usually graduate from MCRD Parris Island and move on to SOI East, located at Camp Geiger, a satellite facility of Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, while those from the western half of the nation attend MCRD San Diego and move on to SOI West, located at 52 area on Camp Pendleton in California. The School of Infantry's training mission ensures every Marine is first and foremost a rifleman. At SOI, Marines with a military occupational specialty of infantry, or MOS of 0300 field, are trained at the Infantry Training Battalion known as ITB, while all non-infantry Marines are trained in basic infantry and combat skills at the Marine Combat Training Battalion, or MCT. SOI marks a transition in the professional training of entry-level students from basically trained Marines to combat-ready Marines. Prior to 1953, there was no formal infantry training in the Marine Corps, and all Marines received combat training at recruit training. The Marine Corps established infantry training regiments at Camp Lejeune and Camp Pendleton in that year. Between 1954 and 1966, all Marines received 13 weeks of boot camp and 8 weeks of infantry training regiment, or ITR, regardless of the primary MOS, growing out of the philosophy that all Marines are riflemen first. Because of manpower demands for Vietnam, in 1966, boot camp training was reduced from 13 weeks to 8 weeks, and ITR was reduced from 8 weeks to 4 weeks. However, by late 1968, these were returned to the 13-week and 8-week lengths as manpower demands were satisfied by recruiting efforts as well as by selective service inductees volunteering for a Marine Corps option. In 1971, infantry skills training for non-infantry Marines was folded into recruit training and entailed only 60 training hours. During the late 1970s and through the 1980s, Marines assigned an infantry MOS went to infantry training school, also known as ITS. This lasted until the Marine Corps established Marine Combat Training as a 28-day course in 1989 to teach rifleman skills to all male Marines. In 1996, the 2nd Marine Division disbanded division schools, passing the role of advanced infantry training to the newly established Advanced Infantry Training Company at the SOI. Prior to 1997, only male Marines were trained at SOI schools, and females went directly to their MOS schools. The training is accomplished with a combination of classroom instruction, hands-on practical application, and live-fire experience. The Marine combat instructors at SOI provide continuity and consistency in the curriculum of training and mentoring entry-level Marines. Also trained at the SOI, these instructors began earning the MOS 0913, formerly MOS 8513, in 2003. The Infantry Training Battalion's mission is to train and qualify Marines in entry-level infantry military occupational specialties to provide the operating forces and Marine Forces Reserve with Marines capable of conducting expeditionary combat operations. ITB is a 59-day training course that develops new Marines into infantrymen who can fight, survive, and win in a combat situation. The first 2 weeks are a common skills package that all infantry MOSs share, where Marines receive instruction in combat marksmanship, use of grenades, identifying and countering improvised explosive devices, convoy operations, military operations in urban terrain known as mount, tactical formations, land navigation, and patrolling. Afterward, Marines receive instruction specific to their infantry MOS regarding machine guns, mortars, reconnaissance, or anti-tank warfare. The training cycle includes physical conditioning via physical training, conditioning marches, and sustainment training in the Marine Corps Martial Arts program known as MCMAP. Leadership traits and the application of the core values in every aspect of the Marines' life are also emphasized. Marine Combat Training, or MCT, is a 29-day course in which entry-level non-infantry Marines are taught the common skills needed in combat. Marines learn the basics of combat marksmanship, counter-improvised explosive device techniques, how to conduct the defense of a position, convoy operations, combat formations, fire team assaults, patrolling, mount, use of the AMPRC 119 radio, reporting military intelligence, land navigation, and the use of hand grenades, the M203 grenade launcher, the M249 squad automatic weapon, and the M240 machine gun. Training also includes combat conditioning by running an obstacle course, conducting marches, physical training, and MCMAP. Upon completion of MCT, the Marine is to have gained the knowledge and ability to operate in a combat environment as a basic rifleman and to perform his or her primary duties under fire. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Recon Jack, and perhaps you've learned something new. Stay tuned for part 2 of this episode as I continue to explore the hallowed history, traditions, and individuals of the United States Marine Corps. Please feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell, and leave a comment in the section below. I always enjoy interacting with you folks and seeing the growth of this channel. Also, don't hesitate to tell a friend or family member or email me directly to recon_jack@hotmail.com. Until next time, Semper Fi, and carry on.